The land was cracked, like the skin of an old man thirsting for rain. The sun burned fiercely above. No cloud, no breeze, only silence. In the low valley where the river had long dried lay a small hut. There lived a farmer named Eliam. Eliam was a kind, humble man. His wife had passed away the winter before, leaving him alone with a worn-out ox and a barren field. Every morning he went to the field, pressed his hoe into the dust, and whispered, "Lord, have mercy. Let this land live again." But for 7 long months no rain came. The crops died, the wells dried up, and the villagers left. Only Eliam stayed, for he believed that if God had given him seeds, he would one day give him rain. One night, as he sat beside a weak fire, he noticed something strange. A small light flickering far away, steady like breathing. He followed it through dusty trails until he reached a large stone, the same place his wife used to sit and sing. Upon the rock grew a tiny white flower blooming from a crack in the dry stone. Eliam knelt down. He wondered how life could exist there. Then he heard a voice, soft as wind. "When you believe, the seed will find its own water." He looked up, but saw no one. Only the first gentle breeze after months of silence. The next morning, Eliam took his small pouch of seeds and went out to the field. He dug into the dry soil, sweat mixing with dust into mud. He smiled faintly. Perhaps this is the water God has given me. By evening, the wind grew stronger. Dark clouds gathered far away. Eliam stopped, listening, and within the gust he heard a voice. "Go to the mountain. There you will find what you seek." He froze. The voice was not human. It was calm, pure, filled with peace. He looked toward the distant mountains where the clouds were gathering. At dawn, he packed some dry bread, took his staff, and set out. He did not know what he would find, but he knew God was leading him. After 3 days' journey through barren land, Eliam reached a small village. In the center stood a dry stone well, almost empty. Beside it sat an old man with silver hair, weaving a basket. Eliam approached. "Good sir, is there any water here?" The old man smiled. "Yes, but not the kind you're asking for." Eliam frowned. "I only ask for a little to drink." The old man pointed to the well. "Look closely." Eliam leaned over. At the bottom of the dry well, he saw a reflection of stars, though it was daylight. The light shimmered like water. "See," the old man said, "water is not only water, it is faith. When you believe, it appears even in the dry places." Eliam blinked in awe. When he looked up again, the old man was gone. Only a woven basket remained beside the well, containing a small pouch of golden seeds. Etched on the pouch were the words, "Sow in dead soil, and you will see life." Eliam knelt, tears in his eyes. He knew he had just met one sent by God. He returned home through the cracked lands. When he reached the valley, all was deserted. Only his hut and the lifeless field remained.
Eliam took the golden seeds and scattered them across the field. He had no water, only faith and prayer. Each morning he knelt as the sun rose and whispered, "Lord, I have sown. The rest I leave in your hands." 7 days passed. Nothing changed. On the 8th day, a small sparrow landed near him, pecked at the ground, and sang a strange, sweet note. At that moment, a single drop of water fell from the sky. No clouds, no thunder, just one drop. It landed exactly where the first seed had been planted. The earth trembled softly, and from that spot a green sprout emerged. Eliam wept. He had never seen such beauty, fragile yet radiant with light.
The next morning, before sunrise, the sky glowed gold. Clouds gathered from all directions, thunder rolled gently, and soon rain began to fall, soft, pure, like a hymn. Eliam ran into the field, raising his hands to heaven. The rain soaked the ground, washing away the dust, breathing life into every corner. The golden seeds sprouted, green waves covering the valley. In 3 days, the barren land became a sea of life, shimmering under the light. People from nearby villages came, amazed. They asked, "How did you do this?" Eliam smiled. "I did nothing. I only believed." Harvest came. The wheat grew tall and heavy with golden grain. One evening, as the sun painted the field in crimson, Eliam saw a figure standing upon the rock where the white flower once bloomed. The figure shone with radiant light, dressed in robes brighter than the sun. It was the Lord. Eliam fell to his knees. "Lord." Christ approached and laid his hand on the farmer's shoulder. His voice was soft as wind. "You kept your faith through the drought. You did not need to see me to believe, but because you believed, you have seen the miracle." Light poured from his hand, spreading across the field. The crops glowed, the sky opened, and the valley was bathed in divine light. Then he was gone, but the light remained, falling upon Eliam like gentle rain. From that day the valley never dried again. A pure stream flowed where the river once died. The villagers returned, building homes, planting fields anew. In the middle of the field they placed a stone engraved with Eliam's words, "When you believe, the seed will find its own water." Eliam lived to old age, and on the night he passed, people said a great light descended upon the field, and the wheat shone like gold. The story of Eliam is told from generation to generation, as a reminder that God's presence is not only in thunder and miracles, but in the gentle signs of faith within the ordinary. For faith itself is the first miracle. And when the world feels dry and hopeless, remember, when you believe, the seed will find its own water.